Hey, what's happening to my rideshare road warriors? What's going on? This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Marietta, Georgia. I'm here in East Cobb, and I just dropped some people off, so I'm taking my break. It's time for me to do my video, and here we are. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I am having a pretty good day. It started off kind of, kind of interesting. It's Tuesday, it's holiday week, but it ended up, it's still going. There's a Braves game tonight, the Atlanta Braves. So there's a Major League Baseball game tonight, and I'm taking this break now. I'm probably gonna eat me some food after I talk to you guys on this video, right? So I want to share with you guys uh 8 tips, right, to keep you from getting deactivated. I don't know if it's happened to you before. It's happened to a lot of people. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of comments from a video that I posted, and you'll see it. It'll be in the end screen of this video. But I did a video a few months ago called "How I Got Deactivated by Uber and Lyft." And that video at the time of this recording, wow, the sun is coming out, y'all. So you guys are gonna have to excuse the lighting. Um, that video at the time of this recording, it has 100,000 views. It went viral, and I learned some things about marketing, because I am a marketer, and I wanted just to bring you guys some more on that. Obviously, that's a hot topic, so I did some research today, and I have my tablet here. And you guys out there, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're watching this far, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't be shy about it. I'm not gonna bite. I came to talk to you guys, and my channel is about earning more and driving less. And if you've been suspended, then you can't drive. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some tips, and to me, some of this is common sense, but some of it probably just didn't. Somebody may have just not thought about avoiding some of these situations. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first tip, and I saw this from I did some research today. Like I said, I got some of this from some other YouTube channels, but I'm sharing this with you guys because I've actually been deactivated, and it sucks when it happens, because you don't know, and if it's fraudulent, it's really jacked up. And thankfully, Uber is starting to deactivate riders for low scores, and they will also deactivate riders if they are doing making fraudulent claims against drivers. So a lot of people don't know that, but I actually watched an Uber employee at our green light hub deactivate somebody, just kick them off the platform for making fraudulent claims against me. Okay, so the first thing is contacting a passenger after you finish the ride. So that's kind of a gray area, and it's going to piggyback into number 7, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But sometimes you hook up with people, right? So like, I got business cards, and you should have business cards. I have business cards, and I talk to people. Sometimes it's just networking, right? And there is nothing wrong with networking, but you can get to a point to where you're probably taking it too far. But so these things are in the company guidelines, right? The terms of agreement that you're using the app. So we got to be really smart. If you're trying to hit on somebody, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've never heard any successful relationships coming out of rideshare, but I'm pretty sure there are some relationships that have been created from rideshare. When I say relationships, I mean love interests, because there's all kind of business relationships that happen during rideshare. I love ride sharing for that purpose. I mean, all kind of networking happens, but you got to be smart about how you're conducting yourself. We're going to talk about number 7, so stay tuned. We're just on number 1. So number 2, driving under the influence. This is one of the hot things that happens. I had someone, that's how I got suspended. Someone said I was driving like I was under the influence, and my car smelled like alcohol. And neither one of those things were true, but these companies have to protect themselves. So if you're out here and you're driving under the influence, and and you've been you're It just doesn't make sense. And your car smells like alcohol. It just doesn't make sense. Okay? You're setting yourself up to be deactivated. Number 3, your vehicle smells like alcohol or marijuana. That's also dumb. All right? That's a good way to go get yourself kicked off the platform. Yeah, you can dispute it, and most of the time you will be able to dispute it. But if that customer is not one of these type of fraudulent penny pitching scam artist customers, then it's probably going to hold some weight. So you just got to be smart about it. All right. Number 4, the background check flags. I don't know how long you guys have been on the platform. I've been on the platform with Uber for 5 years, and with Lyft for about 3. All right, a little bit over 3. And there was a point in time where these companies, especially after, all kind of random crime was happening with these drivers, they went back and started doing a little bit more thorough background check. So if you had a clean MVR for like 3 years, it wasn't good enough anymore. If you had some stuff that was on your record for like 10 years, 15 years ago, they were flagging you for that, and it showed up. They were flagging you for it and kicking you off the platform, and you couldn't get back on the platform. I know people that's happened to. All right, and it's not fun when that happens. So that's one of the things that can get you deactivated is your background check. And if you got some shaky stuff in your background, then you probably need to be making sure that you have some other stream of income. You always need to have other streams of income anyway. I talk to you guys about that all the time, having other streams of income. All right, number 5. Fraudulent activity will get you deactivated. Okay? Using things like the fake GPS, and I think both of the apps kind of know now. They've got the algorithm figured out, and they can look on your phone, because we give these guys permissions to look on our phones. Where if you're using a fake GPS, it goes into your phone and it can detect the fake GPS. Now I'm sure there's some very crafty, smart individual drivers who are out here who have figured out a way to get around that and to use a fake GPS. I mean, it's not new news, but think about it. Why would you jeopardize your income for $20, $30, $50, even $100 because you're being greedy and you want to use a fake GPS? I'll be honest with you guys. I'm straight up. I've used a fake GPS before, but it wasn't, when you start thinking about ethics, fake GPS, I'm in your backseat right now. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, exactly. So, you don't want to do stuff like that. It's going to potentially get you kicked off the platform. Little sneaky black hat tricks. That stuff all catches up with you, man. So I wouldn't recommend anybody doing that. Another type of fraudulent activity I heard one of a driver. I took a Lyft ride a couple of weeks ago, and the guy said this is what he said he did, right? This guy said he would pick people up at the airport and take them on a far destination, right? So you're going all the way to, let's say you're going 20-30 miles out, right? with the rider. You got the passenger in the car and you're going 20-30 miles out. And instead of closing the trip out, you would drive all the way back to the airport, and the mileage is just clocking. And you drive all the way back to the airport, and then you get back in the queue. And there was some talk about people doing that, but come on, man. You got it. Like I said, the black hat stuff with these little sneaky tactics, it's not sustainable, man. You can't build a business. And if you are like me, you're serious about this thing, you're building a business around it. But if you treat this like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. Okay. If you're part-time, yeah, I get that, still treat it like a business so you won't get deactivated for doing stupid stuff. All right, so yeah, this guy told me he got deactivated. I said, so you're driving for Lyft? Why are you not driving for Uber? And I always ask, Lyft drivers that if they drive for both platforms, and a lot of them don't, y'all. I don't get it. I don't, unless you have a Lyft vehicle that you're renting, like the Express Drive, then there's no reason that you shouldn't be on both platforms. All right. Now I went off on a tangent and I'm gonna bring it on back. So don't do fraudulent things to get you kicked off the platform. All right, especially if you're full time, because I don't want to see you on the side or on Facebook or somewhere side of the street. You're crying because you can't get rides because you did something stupid. Okay, and it happens. All right, number 6, and this is a big deal. All right, actively soliciting cash rides. If you're you never know who you have in your car. Just because their name says Susie on the app, Susie could be the director of operations for Uber or Lyft, or somebody that knows somebody that works for Uber and Lyft. So you're out soliciting cash rides. Hey, let's not do this on the app. Let's do it, let's do cash rides. I can swipe you square and I got you covered, and I can keep all the money, which is basically what it boils down to. I've seen people doing cash rides at the airport, where they'll walk around to the pickup terminal. And yes, I'm putting you guys on blast that are doing that. Walk around to the pickup terminal and say, hey, cash rides, Uber, no wait. They're saying things like that. That's dangerous, number one, because you don't know who you're putting in your car. At least with the with the app, you got some kind of background check going on. You got something, as a rider, you have the driver's information. You can verify the driver's information. As a is Uber way for real? Is it coming? I have someone in a wheelchair right now. Just wondering. I'm not sure about that, my man. You'll have to do that research on your own. I'm so sorry. I don't have that information, so I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Like I tell all my people, all of my students, Google. What's up? Hey, what's up, Mark? What's happening? Birmingham's in the house. Right next door, man. So yeah, soliciting the cash rides, I don't think it's smart. Now, if a rider asks you, and you guys make sure you got your insurance together, okay? If a rider says, hey, I really like you, can you come back and pick me up? That's a gray area. I do private rides, okay? But if a rider has said, come back, come and get me or whatever, I'll be in that area for that person. Hey, can you come back and get me at 5 o'clock? Hey, Jim, what's happening, buddy? What's happening? So, some people are funny about taking private rides, but I'm in the transportation industry, okay? I transport, there we go. I transport people, products, food. I'm in the transportation industry, okay? I'm not just an Uber driver, okay? I don't work for Uber. I'm an independent contractor, and most of you are too, independent contractors. There are some people out here that are in, getting the hourly wage in New York and whatnot. So, all right, peep game. I was talking about number 7, right? Number 7 is harassing passengers. Yeah, harassing passengers. So, let's say you've talked to this passenger and y'all got really cool, and then maybe y'all start kicking it. And maybe you're a psycho. Maybe you're a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're a psychopath and you just start stalking this chick, because y'all hung out and y'all had a great conversation and you just knew that she was the one. Or this guy, you just knew that he was the one. It just seemed so cool to hang out with. She just seemed radiant. I love their personality. Hey man, if a person tells you no, accept that for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Do not harass these passengers, man. These companies are going to take the word of the passengers. If you got a dash cam, great. You know what I'm saying? Then whatever's happening in your car is happening in your car. But outside of the car, if you don't have any proof, Yeah, you're asking for some serious stuff to happen to you. All right, don't do it. Okay, don't contact the passenger after you finish the ride. It was number one. Number seven, don't harass the passengers. Okay, don't do it. I'll tell you about that in just a second, Devin. That was in one of my videos. You didn't see that video? How I got deactivated by Uber and Lyft in the same day? Yeah. Okay. So number 8. All right. And if you go to Kimberly CEO Drive Hers channel, she'll tell you this number 8 happened to her. She got deactivated, right? Because her something was going on with her wheel, and obviously the guy, whoever the passenger was, knew enough about cars that something wasn't right and something was unsafe, and he reported her, and they grounded her. I mean, they suspended her for a while, I guess 24 hours or however long it took to get the car repaired. And someone else was telling me they had a situation with their car, and they hit an animal, and they're off. They can't drive the car until they get it fixed. I mean, so if you're riding around with a car that has like a ball knot tire, or something's going on, your brakes are scrubbing, I know we all need money. I know we all need money, and I'm not judging anybody. Do what you got to do to get your car fixed and operating to have it safe where you can take passengers, okay? Because it happens. So, Davin, yes, I have been deactivated by both Uber and Lyft, and it happened on the same day. It's a story. The link will be in the description, okay? Because it's a story, but to cut to the chase and give you the bottom, to give you like the cut to the chase. That's what they would just call it, cut to the chase, right? The two of the things in here, right, I got suspended for. Number one thing was the background check, right? So with Lyft, they had started partnering with Checker, and they started doing background checks. And so it was so weird. They sent the email, and I'm giving you the short version. They sent the email, and the email said, well, hey, we partner with Checker, and so now, some of your information is missing, and now we need you to update, information so you can, so we can keep on going. If you don't update in 8 days, we're going to suspend you from the platform until you get it straightened out. So I went ahead and updated, did what the email said, and I went back to start driving, after I finished updating the information, and the app was like, nope, you're in the process of doing a background check. You got to wait till you finish with the background check before you can get back live online. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So, like I said, I talk about it in the video. The video is it's in the links. It's called How I Got Deactivated by Uber and Lyft in the same day. All right, so that was Lyft's story. With Uber, the thing happened where the person said, I was driving like I was under the influence, and my car smelled like alcohol, So, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, Hans. Trucker, age 27. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying there, Hans. I don't know how that relates to what we're talking about here about being deactivated. We're not talking about commercial driver's license or any of that and how much the class costs. We're not talking about that right now, man. But hey, feel free to inbox me about some of that. I don't know anything about having a commercial driver's license and the CDL and doing all of that. All right. Said Lyft did that to you. Why drive for Uber? I drive for Uber because I don't want to work for anybody. You know what I'm saying? I have freedom and flexibility. Do you make enough? Yes. Hans, obviously you're not a driver, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking to you, guy. I'm good. I have multiple streams of income, And I have two special needs kids, and I'll tell you this story. I have two special needs kids, and if one of their moms, and I'll have custody of one actually, if something needs to happen with my kids, I don't need to be halfway across the country towing somebody's load, delivering some packages on a CDL to do that. I don't even need to be somewhere local running around to the next state. I don't want to do that, okay? I like having my free time. I like being able to start and stop when I want to. Now, I don't knock anybody who does that. Dude, I'm glad you have your opinion. I'm done with talking about the trucking thing. We're talking about rideshare. If you're a trucker, hey man, go for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this is rideshare. We're talking about rideshare. All right. We're not talking about any of that other stuff. So what happened with Uber is that the person actually, it was a cheap ride. The guy was just going down the street, and the guy said, let's see here. Yep, we're gonna put this user in the timeout. Yeah, it's all good, Umaru. Yeah, I just put him in timeout, man. I don't have time for silliness. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time for that. And it ain't even about control. It's about you guys. It's about the audience. You guys came here to get this information, and I want to share this information with you. So anybody that's doing the heckling, there's this little button, like my mentor used to tell me, there's this little button. You just hit delete and block. Those are little buttons that, you have power. You have that power. It's no use of, having conversations about silly things, okay? They have totally off topic. So yeah, man, that happened to me on the same day where I was actually deactivated by Lyft and Uber on the same day. I'm so serious, y'all. I'm so serious. And that's why I preach to you guys about having multiple streams of income. Don't get so caught up on driving for one platform or the other. Have some multiple streams of income. I will go do Amazon. I'll go do DoorDash. I'll go do Postmates. I'll go to get a job delivering pizzas. It doesn't matter, man. I have a YouTube channel, which is great. So now thank you all for subscribing. Make sure you guys are giving thumbs up when you come in. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I have a blog. There are a lot of different ways to generate income. Don't get caught up in one way. One way of generating income is dangerous, okay? It is dangerous. I was talking to a lady today, one of my riders today. I took her to the airport, and she hit your boy up with a nice little tip, and that was cool. But I took her to the airport, right? And I know we're off the subject of being deactivated, but it's all good. You guys are here. You're sticking with me, and I appreciate you guys, right? So this lady and I were talking. She was a former director of HUD. And she's a government federal worker, right? And so this is what she said to me. She was older than me. She was like in her 50s, and she was like, I always had dreams and things like that I wanted to pursue, but I never did it. I just got comfortable at my job. I don't want you guys to get comfortable doing this, okay? Rideshare is cool, but being in the car, we're sitting all the time. It's a lot of wear and tear on your car. And if you're not working it like a business, whereas you're keeping up with your miles, filing your taxes the correct way, you probably won't get as much benefit. If you're not doing the networking, you probably won't get as much benefit out of it. But you do have the freedom to pursue other things. So like, for instance, today, right? I went by the Uber office today. I had my oil change today. What else did I do? I mailed some medical supplies off to my daughter. She's staying with my uncle, out of town. I had the chance to do all of those things today. So I once again, I love the flexibility that it offers, but it's not a long-term play. It's definitely not a long-term play. So you want to be building and working on your dream. If you're doing this part-time, you're doing it for extra money, great. It's great for that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're full-time doing it like me and some other people I know, then you need to be making sure that you're focusing on your dream. You're doing something towards your dream every single day. Also, other things I did while I was waiting on a ride. Hey, what's up, Anthony? What's happening, man? Um, Also, while I was waiting for a ride today, I was out. I'm in the market to buy a house, right? So I'm out driving around in neighborhoods that I like, okay, and writing the neighborhoods down on a piece of paper so I can research later. So, you gotta take it and you gotta use it, man. You gotta use it to your advantage. Don't get caught up with all the negative people, the naysayers talking about how much money you can make. You know what? I was talking to this lady, right? The same lady I was telling you about who was a former director for HUD, Housing and Urban Development. Okay, for you guys that don't know what HUD means, HUD. I was talking to this lady and I was sharing with her that I had a job. One of my jobs, and one day I'll give you guys a whole background video. But one of my many jobs over the years is I was a technical writing contractor for the state of Georgia. All right. So, and I worked for DFACS, the Department of Family and Children Services, the Child Support Enforcement Agency, right? So that job paid me, and this was back in 2000, going into 2001. That job paid me $30 an hour. $30 an hour in year 2000 money. That's 20 years ago, right? So I walked away from that job because I knew I wasn't growing in that job. I was not growing. So I walked away from that job. So it's not necessarily about money. It's about what you do. It's about, for me, and hopefully for you, it's about having a certain degree of freedom. Okay? It's about having a certain degree of freedom. I don't need anyone telling me where I have to be at a certain time and I got to clock in. I don't want to do that. My car was down week before last, right? And I had to work on getting another car. Not once did it cross my mind for me to go get a job. It did not cross my mind at all. And I'm not dissing anybody that has a job, but you got to know, and I talk to you guys about this all the time. You got to know why you're doing this. Why are you in rideshare? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for part-time money? Are you doing it for full-time? Are you doing it to work on some other venture? You're passionate about something else? Why are you doing it? And so if you are, at either rate, if you're part-time or full-time, you need to be figuring out how you can earn the most money in the shortest amount of time. Okay? And that's just how this works. This is not, you don't retire off of Uber or Lyft. This is not a long-term strategy. Okay? This is short. You're in, you're out. Yep, I've been doing it for 5 years, but I haven't been full-time for 5 years. I've been full-time for 3. And because I've trained my mind to look for other opportunities and to move on those opportunities, and you should be doing the same thing too. Training your mind to sniff out opportunities. There's this book. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? I think it's by Ken Blanchard. You should get that book on audiobook. And it talks about dealing with change. So for instance, like look at all the changes that Uber and Lyft are going through, and they're taking the drivers through, right? So they're lowering the price. Instead of, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? The prices are low. Nobody's hitting the app. Nobody's requesting. I'm not making any money. Oh. Instead of belly aching, you need to be figuring out how to make the money. You need to move with the change. Okay? You got to move with the change. Just like this week. And I know I'm covering a lot of topics and we're way off of the tips for being deactivated. But it's cool. All right? Because y'all my people and I love talking to you guys. And I'm gonna probably wrap it up with this, unless you guys got some questions. If you guys got some questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and then I can deal with them, all right? And the new people that came on, give me some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up, because I'm dropping a lot of knowledge, dropping a lot of nuggets on you guys, a lot of nuggets for my road warriors out there, because I care. I want to see you guys win. So just like this week, right? It's a holiday week. typically Mondays are booming. Monday mornings, Monday mornings are typically booming. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Wanda, what's happening? So yesterday morning was not booming. Like yesterday, it was weird, and I had to remember, it's a holiday week, because a lot of people, they've already gone out of town. They're going to be driving off somewhere. They're not going to work. The holiday is in the middle of the week, but you still got to figure out a way to win. So the market changed a little bit. So guess what? You got to change a little bit. And you can't be afraid to change. Don't be so rigid, rigid in your thinking that you won't change and you won't go get this money that's out here. The money that you want is in the pockets of other people. It's your job to figure out how to get them to happily and gladly give that money to you. I got that from my mentor, who got it from her mentor. All right. And this was marketing. You know what I'm saying? This was market. This is my marketing and life mentor. So I'm able to apply that to the rideshare game. The money that you want is sitting in the pockets of other people, and it's our job to get the people to happily and gladly give that money to us. We do that when we turn these apps on. And just go out and just change. Just be like Bruce Lee says, he be like water. You know what I'm saying? Take the shape of whatever container. You know what I mean? Be adaptable to change. Don't be afraid to change. Change is inevitable, but you got to learn how to change quick, especially as an entrepreneur. You got to learn how to change quick. You can't hem and haw. You can't sit around and just be like, oh, woe is me. What am I going to do? Yeah, I don't know. I need someone to save me. No, save yourself. Save yourself. Glory, I know that's right, Glory. Yes, you know what? There are some jobs that I've liked, Glory, but for the most part, especially once I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich, and I just got to the point like, okay, yeah, I think I can do this on my own. And I tried. This is not the first time me being self-employed, going out on a limb and saying, hey, I'm gonna make it. It's the longest I haven't worked for another human being in 3 years. So when the people come on the channel and they come in the chat and they in the comments and they say silly little things, I'm just laughing at them, man. I'm just laughing. Why don't you get a real job? Why don't you get some freedom? So, all right, y'all, I'm misbehaving. Y'all got me misbehaving out here, man. I really appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm in the parking lot of Moe's. I think I'm gonna get me a salad, because I don't really want anything heavy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Barb. I don't really want anything heavy, and I'm gonna get back out here. We got a Atlanta Braves game tonight, so I'm gonna be picking up people. I'm not done driving by any stretch of the imagination tonight. I come to get it because it's a holiday week. It's money out here, but you still got to be out here to get it. If you don't have your app on, you can't get the money. And plus, I tell you guys, if you guys saw the video about disposable income, I'm in one of the wealthiest parts of Metro Atlanta. I'm in East Cobb. So I left another part of Metro Atlanta because I knew the people didn't have disposable income. I hadn't taken a pool ride in a while, y'all. I don't even know. I haven't. I've taken a shared Lyft ride, but I haven't taken a pool ride at all. So, like I said, man, if you guys got any questions, inbox me. Make sure that you're getting these nuggets. If you guys need to help me, if you need help understanding anything, no problem, Wanda. That's what this channel is for. It's about earning more and driving less. It's about being smart. It's just about being smart, man. And just getting into you guys got me so amped. Just getting into the whole energy of your city and where you are, and just knowing how to move with your city. Knowing times you got to step back sometimes. You got to step back. Like this past weekend, I had a family reunion. I didn't think about rideshare driving at all. I was so happy to leave out of the city of Atlanta. Man, I was like a little kid the whole time. So once again, like, share, comment. Terry Tips is in the house. What's up, Terry Tips? What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man. You guys follow Terry Tips. Make sure you're following Terry Tips channel, YouTube channel, long time, been in the game. One of the guys that let me know, hey man, Terry's a real human being. He's giving out some good nuggets, you know. Money's out there, we out there. Smiles up. That's right, man. Good to see you, man. So, like I said, just dropping nuggets on you guys. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I'm getting ready to go feed my face so I can go out and have the energy I need to have a really, really good night. All right. So, love you guys. Peace.